song played by. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Arbity, 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 wobbity, storming the argin, the argin, the argin, the argin, the skirmin, the argin, the bargain, 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 the argin, 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 you turn the argin, the insurance. Insurance.
Insurance. Bitch.
Insurance.
Insurance. Insurance, damn it.
State Farms.
And
Yay!
Bitch.
Are you feeling it? I don't hear you. We're down to Trump Day -1, and we're going to rally this afternoon. I see we got Underdog up there in the stands. I heard we have some very special guests this afternoon, and the Secret Service are around me, and they told me if I say anything of who they are, I have to leave the stage. So I can't say too much, but I'll just give you one hint. Think 13 hours. I'd like to invite up Pastor Dennis Wilhite, Clark Summit University Professor of Youth Ministries, to give the invocation. Pastor Wilhite.
Let's pray together. Father God, I thank you so much for allowing us to live in a great nation in which we have received so very many blessings. Lord, we stand at a time when, again, we have to make decisions about the way forward. Lord, I pray that as we do this, as we consider these things, that you'd help us to understand that there is a God who is above all and in all and through all. God, that you care more about us than we could ever know. Father, I pray that today, as we consider these things, that you would help us to focus on who you are and what you want to do. That you'd help us to see ourselves as your servants. Father, we cry out for wisdom. At times like this, we want to know what is wise, what is good. But you promised that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of the wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. Help us to seek you, to seek your face, to seek your mind. We cry out for truth. We want to know the truth. It's so difficult sometimes to wade through the cacophony of voices coming at us. But you said that you are the way, the truth, and the life. God, we want to see righteousness rule in the earth. There's so much evil. But God, you said that it's not our own righteousness that will cut it, but the righteousness which is of God by faith, permeating our lives and changing our beings. God, I pray for our country that you would bind us together under God, one nation. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Pastor Wilhite. Our Pledge of Allegiance will be presented by Mr. David Jenkins, retired Army, past post commander of VFW Post 7069 in Clark Summit. Mr. David Jenkins.
Please remove your hats and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
USA, 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 USA. Please welcome singer-songwriter Robin Smith, who will lead us with our national anthem. Robin Smith.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. In the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free in the home of the brave?
USA. Joining us this afternoon is retired Army Colonel and Lackawanna College President, Mr. Mark Volk. Mr. Volk?
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. I've been told I only have about 30 minutes, so settle in, and I'll give you it. So, stand by. So, there we go. He's going to pull me off. So, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, staff, administration, and most importantly, the students of Lackawanna College, I want to welcome you to our student union and today's presidential campaign event. For more than a century, our college has served the residents of our region by providing them with opportunities to expand their knowledge, to achieve their dreams, and to explore differing ideas and concepts. Similarly to when it was founded here in downtown Scranton in 1894, the college's mission remains to provide a quality education to all persons who seek to improve their lives and better the communities in which they live. Now, on the verge of beginning our first 3 baccalaureate degree programs next fall, and committed to doing so for at least 15 years, or next 3 years, under $15,000 per year in tuition. Our vision to be the nationally recognized premier open enrollment college of choice dovetails perfectly with the goal we all seek: to enable the rebirth of opportunity for our local workforce, our region, and our nation. Today's historic event, literally on the eve of the presidential, congressional, state, and local elections, features the Republican presidential candidate in a city that's long steeped in our country's economic prowess and under circumstances not often experienced, where Pennsylvania remains very much in play in deciding the outcome of the election. As we at Lackawanna College begin to rewrite our own history, one that includes both the offering of selected baccalaureate degrees as well as the continued offering of associate's degrees leading to family sustainable wage positions here and nationwide, we are honored to host this exceptional opportunity to hear Mr. Trump describe his vision for a new chapter in our nation's history. Welcome, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you, President Volk. Well, they asked me to fill in for the next 30 minutes, and then they told me that somebody would throw me off the stage if I went that long. So I've got about 5 minutes of comments, and then we'll continue with the program. I'm so proud to be able to stand on this stage this afternoon and talk about the issues I believe will affect everyone. I'm not a politician. I was just a poor farm boy who succeeded in achieving the American dream to its fullest. My wife helped me edit my comments this afternoon and is here, she's sitting over there, to make sure that I don't put some of the things in that I really want to say tonight. Where's my wife, Laura? There she is over there. Laura is a decorated veteran from both Iraqi wars and the Bosnia conflict. Retired after 21 years in the Air Force and the Air National Guard with the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. And my twin boys came along and it was just too much to continue, so she retired. And my two boys are over here, Hunter and Chase, they're down front here. And hi guys, love you. I need to be honest with you this afternoon. I'm scared. I'm really scared for the future of our country. Our reckless so-called leaders are driving us down a path to destruction. Our national debt is approaching $20 trillion. And I never really thought, I really never thought how big $20 trillion was till last night in preparing my remarks. $20 trillion. That's over $800,000 of debt per family in this country. $800,000. And the debt's growing at $2.5 billion a day. The black hole. Think about this. If you spent $28 million a day since Jesus was born, you could not have spent $20 trillion. I can't even grasp how you could spend $28 million a day for 735,000 days. It's pretty scary. It's pretty sobering, but it's much, much more shocking than sobering. The real unfunded debt is over $140 trillion. That's over $5.6 million per family. No matter how you cut it, there's not enough taxpayers in the country that can pay enough taxes. It consumes more than your pay for a year to pay these kind of bills down. And Hillary wants to add $3.5 trillion more of spending. I don't think she heard you. Boo. You're up. Lock it up. Do we have any gun owners in the room? It's a great honor for me to be elected and to serve on the National Rifle Association Board of Directors and on their executive committee. Thank you. Thank you. The NRA is the oldest and it is the largest civil rights organization in America, and they're fighting for our God-given right to own guns. And I'm proud to be representing Pennsylvania and the country on the board to preserve our right. How about those NRA Freedom Safest Place ads on Fox? Pretty good, aren't they? Did you know that corrupt media will not run those ads? That's right. They not only do not support the Second Amendment, but they corrupt the First Amendment of free speech when it does not fit their liberal progressive agenda. We all know how slimy, corrupt, and dishonest Hillary has been for the past 30 years, and it will continue. Hillary says she supports gun ownership. But then she says the Supreme Court got it wrong in 2010 that gun ownership is an individual right. She has the audacity to claim that she supports gun ownership while she'll appoint Supreme Court justices that will overturn our right to own guns. That's coming. That's coming. Again, proving she has a private and public faces. What is our response to Hillary's plans to take away our guns from our cold, dead hands? Let's let her hear that again. From our cold, dead hands. Let's vote Trump, Pence. Look at those signs, lovely. USA, 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 USA. Did you hear last week that Iran's boasted that its elite Revolutionary Guard is sending fighters to infiltrate the United States and Europe? It's all over Fox, but since the mainstream media did not report this, they're corrupt too. There's over 1 million Pennsylvania residents that have concealed carry permits. That's about 1 in 12. One in 12 Pennsylvanians can carry concealed. Concealed carry may not be for everyone. It's a huge responsibility. But my family feels a lot safer in Pennsylvania, where we have a choice to protect our families if the time arrives. Hillary and her gaggle of anti-gun cohorts want to take away your guns and your right to protect your family. That's right. Don't believe it can't happen. I have so many Pennsylvanians say the Pennsylvania Constitution protects our right to own guns. But if the Supreme Court rules, it'll trump Pennsylvania. And it's happened in England and it's happened in Australia. So don't give up. One bullet at a time. I owned a large information technology company for over 32 years, and I know a little about network security. The FBI found Hillary had some of our most top secret information on her unsecured server in her basement. And that's been rehashed. We all know that. Based on what we've heard, many of my colleagues who worked for me and through friends all agree. Time's up. Are you serious, Dave? I'm only halfway through. You want me to go on? So, my wife had one single question for you to ponder. What was Hillary trying to hide that requires such extreme measures as using a hammer on her cell phone and bleaching her hard drives after she was under subpoena to save the emails? Where's the jail? Where's the jail? Hillary tells the FBI she cannot remember 40 times during her 3-hour FBI interview. I say Hillary lost her mind. But my wife, right, behind every good man's a good wife. My wife, what does she say? She suffers from a condition called CRS. Can't remember shit. I think that's military slang or something like that. And sorry, boys, don't repeat that at home. So they're telling me I'm exceeding my own schedule here, so let's see what else I can skip out of here real quick. But, you know, all this stuff we've been talking about, let's be frank, very few of these events that happen in Washington really directly hurt you or hit you up here in the northeast of Pennsylvania. What will affect you and your family and your neighbors and the lack of good paying jobs? You want me? I'm finishing now. Okay, they told me to end now. Okay. Sorry about that. I'll come back if we have more time. Okay, let's give a warm welcome to John Brown, candidate for Auditor General. Mr. Brown resides in Northampton County and is a great Second Amendment supporter.
Good afternoon, Scranton, Pennsylvania. How are you? Let's hear it. My name is John Brown, and I'm your candidate for Auditor General. As Auditor General, my job is to protect you, the taxpayers, and drive waste out of government. You think there's some waste in government today? I'm running because I want to make America great again. I want to make Pennsylvania great again. Unfortunately, when I look across our country, I see many challenges, and I have a few questions for you. Are you tired of record deficit spending by Washington? Are you tired of a depleted military struggling to keep us safe? Are you tired of health care costs spiraling out of control because of Obamacare? Are you tired of VA hospitals failing our vets? Are you tired of job-killing taxes and regulations? Then if you are, you need to go out and elect Donald J. Trump President of the United States. President Trump will cut spending. President Trump will invest in our military and our veterans. President Trump will cut taxes and regulations that are killing our jobs. He will repeal Obamacare. He will jumpstart our economy and create family-sustaining jobs that stay here in Pennsylvania. So, however, none of this can happen without you. You're the key to all of this. And are you ready? Are you ready to make Pennsylvania great again? Are you ready to make America great again? Are you ready to re-elect Pat Toomey, Pennsylvania's U.S. Senator? Are you ready to get the vote out and make Donald J. Trump the next president of the United States? God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. The residents of the 10th and 11th congressional districts have some pretty outstanding congressmen. They get it. I encourage you to visit Congressman Marino's website. He tells it like it is. We talk a lot about regulation. Congressman Marino has a website that regulations cost us each year $298,900,000. Our governments run amok. You don't think that affects everyone in this room? You're dead wrong. That $148 billion could stay in our pockets and help our families, help our businesses, help our disabled, help our elderly. I introduce you to United States Congressman Tom Marino of the 10th District and the United States Congressman Lou Barletta of the 11th District.
Does this look like a movement or what? You know, I just came from Washington, and while I was there, I heard this sound. I didn't know what it was. And as I drove here, it was getting louder and louder and louder. And listen closely, can you hear it? You know what that sound is? That's the sound of a swamp being drained. And it's getting louder. You know, this is the most important election of our lifetime. There's no question about it. We're at a crossroads of two different Americas. The America that our forefathers fought for and the freedoms that were handed to us and given to us with the responsibility, we were given that responsibility to make sure that the next generation carried on and had those same freedoms. Well, we're at a crossroads because someone's standing in the way. Someone's standing in the way that wants to take this country into a different direction. We have a responsibility to make sure that we give our children those same freedoms that the men and women who fought for are given to that generation and the generation after. Now, Hillary Clinton dreams of an America with open trade and open borders. Do you know what open borders looks like? A country that has the most generous welfare system in the world can never survive open borders. Hillary Clinton believes that we should expand Obamacare. And she believes there should be justice for all, just not for her. Now listen, America needs an honest leader. America has been craving an honest leader, not a politician. Not someone who will tell you what you want to hear, but will tell you how it is. This is once in a lifetime for us, ladies and gentlemen. It will never happen again. Not in our lifetime will we ever have this chance again. Once in a lifetime. This is our last chance to stop Obamacare. This is our last chance to secure the borders and build the wall. This is the last chance to stop illegal immigration so that our children and our country can be free and secure and safe. This is the last chance for the rule of law. And this is the last chance to make sure our men and women in the military get everything they need to keep themselves safe and protect our country. And this is the last chance that the veteran, the good men and women who serve this country will get the best health care that this country can give them. No veteran should ever die waiting in line for health care, and that will never happen again when Donald Trump is president. And this is our last chance to protect our Second Amendment rights. And this is our last chance to protect the life of the unborn. And this is the last chance. And this is the last chance that we'll have so that we can say Merry Christmas if we want to say Merry Christmas. And we don't have to apologize to anybody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last chance to drain that swamp. Tomorrow, let's elect Donald J. Trump, the next president of the United States of America. Thank you. USA! USA! USA!
list of questions that I would like to ask you, but I want to start out with, I just got a phone call from my wife. There's a good friend of mine, his father was diagnosed with a terminal illness. He wasn't going to make it to Election Day. He let us know and wants me to let you know that he got an absentee ballot and made sure that he voted for Donald Trump for President of the United States. And unfortunately, he just passed away yesterday. All right, I have some important questions here I want to ask you, all right? Do you want the jobs that were here 40 years ago and the technology brought back to this country? Do you want the borders secured so the criminals and the terrorists are blocked out? Do you want the government, the U.S. government, our great military to go after the terrorists and especially ISIS and kill every one of them as fast as we can? Then who is going to be the president that does that? Donald. Do you want the strongest military that we've ever had in the history of this country that the rest of the world will respect? Do you want the bad trade deals like NAFTA done away with so you have good paying jobs? Do you want job-crushing regulations just to be disseminated, gone after with a chainsaw so businesses can stay in business in this country? Do you want the taxes lowered for the middle-class, hardworking taxpayers? So who is going to do this for us? Do you want Common Core eliminated? Here's my favorite. Do you want term limits for House members and the Senate? Do you want our veterans and our seniors to get the respect that they deserve and for us to properly take care of them? Who is going to do that for us? Do you want the White House, particularly under this administration, and the Justice Department that to support our police and to enforce the laws on the books? Do you want the United States to be respected around the world like we were when Reagan was president? Do you want the United States to be energy independent, utilizing our gas, our oil, and our coal? Do you want conservative judges on the federal bench, especially Supreme Court justices? Another one of my favorites is do you want to make sure that we keep our Second Amendment rights? And who's going to do that for us? Do you want to protect the unborn that's killed every day? Do you want to make sure that Social Security and Medicare are protected? Who's going to do that for us? Do you believe that America can be great again? And who are you going to vote for tomorrow to make sure he's president of the United States? And let me leave you with one more thought. I told you before, I was a prosecutor for 18 years. And Hillary Clinton told the FBI 41 times, I do not recall, I do not remember. So when I was questioning a potential target, and they said, I do not recall or do not remember, that told me two things. They either got a mental issue or they're lying, and I think both apply to Hillary Clinton. Lou and I started this months ago here in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania's going to take us across that finish line to put Donald Trump in the White House. God bless America and Donald Trump, the President of the United States. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. Another one of we have a very, very special guest this afternoon, a true American hero, Benghazi hero Chris Tonto Peranto. Chris is a United States veteran and private security contractor who served the United States for more than 18 years. Chris possesses elite training skills received from the U.S. Army Ranger, 2nd Battalion, 75th Regiment, and 5th Battalion Special Forces Group. Throughout those 18 years, Chris joined other security companies including Blackwater Security, the Central Intelligence Agency, OSEN Hunter Group, and Nexus Security Consulting. I had the privilege of having watched his presentation last night at Penn's Peak, and he had us mesmerized for 2 hours about how it was. He doesn't hold any punches, he tells it like it is. Please welcome Benghazi hero, Chris Tonto Peranto, to tell us the truth.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, love you guys. I know that, they always say don't get between a politician and a microphone, right? So all the buddy before me went a little bit long, so I got to cut mine a little short. And don't think I'm not going to give you a little bit. Guys, all I want to do is I want to tell you, and I want to make you see, I want to make you feel what we felt, even just a short portion of what went on that night. And I want you to know when this was going on, Hillary Clinton and her minions, they were trying to figure out what uniform to put the Marines in to come help us. So I want you to know what happened. I want to know, during the time frame when we were getting hit by mortars, and we've already been in 2 attacks at our annex. We've already fought off the bad guys there at the consulate. 4 attacks we've been on. I remember 5:30 in the morning. I remember seeing my teammates. I remember seeing Ty. Ty, of course, died that night. Roan, Navy SEAL, SEAL Team 6. I remember seeing Bub, SEAL Team 3, fantastic guy. I remember seeing Oz, tough Marine. I remember seeing Dave Ubben. I remember watching them. 5:30 in the morning, 9/11, actually it's 9/12/2012 now. I remember watching, and I remember hearing a little, it didn't sound like a mortar. I remember thinking, what was that? What happened? And then it just hit me. It's like, damn, that's a mortar. And I remember getting on the radio and I went, mortars, and I said, and I remember as soon as I said, take cover, I saw the first one hit. And I'm watching it. I'm not no farther from this stage to where the cameras are. And I saw that first one hit. And I see Tyrone Woods, I see a hero turn and spin with the machine gun. And I see him spin and I see him hold that trigger down. And he's ripping up terrorists. He's just tearing them up left and right, just going like a laser. And forgive me, I get a little emotional still after 3 years of this. I do. I feel it because we didn't lose anybody in Benghazi, right? I saw it in a debate, right? Hillary said we didn't lose anybody in Benghazi. Right. So I see that mortar hit, and I see that whole team. Bub, Ty, I see Oz, I see Dave Ubben open up. And I'm thinking, gosh, I got to get in this firefight. I got to start shooting. So I start shooting over their heads. And every few seconds after I shoot, I turn around to make sure nobody's attacking us from the rear. And then I see another mortar hit, and I see that one go down. And it doesn't matter how much fire is going on. It doesn't matter how many explosions are going on. You can still hear when somebody's panicking and they think they're going to die because Dave Ubben got hit. I remember him going down. I remember him saying, I'm a hit, and I can't replicate that voice. I want you to imagine a friend, a family member, somebody being hit and thinking they're going to lose their life, and that sound that they make when they say, I'm hit. We can't do anything for them. We're in a firefight. Self-aid, Dave, you got to treat yourself. And I see those guys still fighting. Nobody's getting down that compound. This is 5:30. This is our 5th attack that night. After requesting support, we're requesting air support and not getting it. And during this whole time frame, Hillary's deciding, should we put the uniforms in Marines in civilian clothes, or should we put the Marines in uniforms? What should we do? And then I turn around again and I see 3 more mortars hit. And all I see is pixie dust. I see dust. That's what it looks like I've been fighting for 10 years. I've been going overseas for 10 years at this point. I've seen more than one mortar, and I see those mortars hit, and I see that pixie dust coming down, and I see no team. And I see I can't wrap my head around it. You can never wrap your hand around war. You just can't. And my mind says your team just got turned to dust. And I did drop my head for a second. I did. I went, we can't beat this. We don't got air support. Even though I asked for it at 9:37, even though I asked for it at midnight, and I asked for it at 3 o'clock in the morning. And we have air support all over that place available. I pick my gun back up because God says, get your gun up, Ranger. And I get my gun up and I start shooting again. And I remember Jack still shooting. I remember Boone still in the fight. I think Ty, because of his heroism and because he was just ripping the crap out of those terrorists, they decided it wasn't a probably smart thing to attack anymore. The irony of this whole thing, and a lot of you may not know this unless you've read Trey Gowdy's report, which is very damning. You have to read those whole 600 pages. We got saved by the Gaddafi loyalists. You remember the group that Hillary and Obama said, hey, these are bad guys. We need to take them out. They came and took out that mortar team for us. They saved us. All right? And I see a true hero get up on that roof, Tig. You guys have probably seen Tig. If you're at the RNC, you've seen John Tig Tigan, big Marine. I see him get up, and I see him get up on that rooftop. Even though there's mortars that are going to be hitting there anytime soon, I see him get up, and I see Oz. Now, Oz and I don't always get along. I'm not going to admit that we do. But I will never question that Marine's toughness. Marines are tough as nails, man. These guys are awesome. And I see that Marine get up, and I see him still try to shoot, and he can't keep his gun up, and I can't figure out what's going on. Why can't he keep that gun up? It's because his arm's blown off. He's got half an arm. And every time he tries to get that gun up, it falls because his arm can't support it. But all he can think of, and I remember asking Oz, I said, what were you thinking, brother? He says, man, I just want to let you guys down. Even though we were getting let down in D.C. because nobody was going to come, because, Benghazi didn't happen, right? There was no battle in Benghazi. That Marine, yeah, damn right, dang right. That Marine's getting up because he didn't want to let us down, even though he has half a freaking arm. And I see Tig sit him down, and I see Tig get a tourniquet on Oz. And then 2 of the bodies that we didn't lose in Benghazi. 2 of those bodies, right? We didn't lose anybody in Benghazi. It didn't happen. Ty's dead, fetal position. Bub's dead, face down. Dave Ubben has half his arm. He's sheared off. His leg's at a 90-degree angle. And that Marine gets over there, Tig, and he puts tourniquets on Dave Ubben and saves his life. Now, I only got a short time. That is a touch of what happened in those 13 hours. That's just a minimal thing. That was the last attack. Now, why I get fed up with this? Because we continually have been lied to about what took place in Benghazi. We were continually lied to by the administration, by Hillary Clinton, that nothing could have been done. It's about 8.5 hours after nothing could have been done. But you know what? And this is where we come from, and this is where we're strong. That team there, that team of 2 Navy SEALs, 3 Marines, and a Ranger, we never gave up. We never quit. And that's what this place is about. You never quit. Daniel, yeah. God, man. This is awesome. Awesome. Now I got to get out of here. I got a little bit of time, but all I want to say is there's this man that's going to be coming in after me. His name's Donald Trump. You may have heard of it, right? You may have heard of it. He's not a politician, and that's what makes him right for this job. He believes in this country. He's built this country. He spent his own money building this country. And I'm telling you right now, he will never leave anybody behind. He's not going to do it. Now, you can go ahead and listen to the media. You can go ahead and listen to whoever you want. If you don't want to take the word from a Ranger, you don't want to take the word from 2 Marines, Tig and Oz, and you don't want to take the word from my buddies, the other Marine, D.B. Benton, or Jack Silva, or Ty Wood's wife, or Katie Quigley, which is Glenn Doherty's sister, or Cheryl Bennett, which is Ty Wood's mom. And you don't want to take their word for it? Fine. But you're failing this country if you don't. We believe in this man. You guys need to stand behind him. Keep working hard. Never quit. Get out there and push this tomorrow. Make sure this man's the President of the United States tomorrow. Make sure it happens. All I want to say is God bless you all. I love you all, and thank you for letting me continue to serve your country. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, and God bless you and your team members, Oz and Tig. We're down to Trump Day -1. Trump Day -1. Past generations, our veterans and founding fathers are depending on you tomorrow. We need to preserve and protect the country from the likes of Hillary and her corrupt, filthy rich cohorts. Tomorrow, I want you to pack your cars, pack your trucks, fill your hay wagons, and load up your motorcycles with Trump voters. And get out and vote. Vote freedom first. Vote Trump Pence, and let's take back our country. It's Trump, or it's the end of the American dream. I can't put it any simpler than that. Thank you, God bless, and pray for our country.
Good afternoon, everyone. Joe Seals here at the RSBN headquarters here in Auburn, Alabama. This is our first of 3. Well, we've already done 2, but RSBN is live in Scranton, Pennsylvania. This is Adam Taxon. And coming up next, Martin will be in Manchester, New Hampshire at 8 o'clock. And then to close this thing out and to take us home, Brad will be at the rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan coming up at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, so you don't want to miss it. We also have a special treat for you tomorrow night, our election coverage. We had planned a huge day of coverage, but instead what we're going to do is we are going to be at the Trump Victory Party tomorrow night in New York, so we will be able to bring you live coverage of that tomorrow night beginning at around, I would assume the cameras would start rolling around 8 o'clock tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. But tomorrow night, from 8 to 11 Eastern, and then there's going to be a show between 5 and 5:30 as well. We'll put all this info up on our YouTube channel. But from 8 to 11 tomorrow night, you get 3 hours of coverage. Dennis Michael Lynch, you may remember him from Newsmax, will be hosting election coverage that we'll be sharing with you on our YouTube channel tomorrow night. And he will do a great job of breaking things down and showing you where the results stand when the polls close, etc. So I hope you enjoy that. We'll put that up for you tomorrow night. And then, of course, the victory speech tomorrow night. And so thank you all for everything you've been doing for us. This has made a huge difference. The donations have allowed us to go places that we normally would not have been able to go. And Right Side is growing. Wait till after the election when you see the changes that we have in store for this thing. It's going to be awesome. You can donate to us at rsbn.tv/donate. You can download our music at rsbnmusic.bandcamp.com. And yes, stay tuned because it's going to be a really amazing night tomorrow. I have a feeling, and we all are kind of looking at the Drudge Report all day long. We've got it pulled up here to see some of the late breaking stories that pertain to the election and good numbers for Trump in Florida and North Carolina on the early voting.
Go vote,
and also
guys.
Colorado. And if you don't get out and vote, then you need to. If you don't plan on voting, turn the stream off, man. Just get off here. Okay? Or if you haven't voted yet, you need to take 3 people to the polls with you.
Go, get out and vote.
That's right. Get out and vote.
Otherwise, all we've done to help Trump in this election is for nothing.
Everything. We are putting our heart and souls into this, and we really appreciate it. As a reminder, you can also watch these rallies live on Donald Trump's Facebook page at facebook.com/Donald Trump. We'll be simulcasting the rally over there at his Facebook page tonight. You can watch all 3 rallies tonight at Trump's Facebook page. This rally will feature only Governor Mike Pence coming up at 8 in Manchester. This rally will feature only Donald Trump, and then coming up at Manchester at 8 and also Grand Rapids at 11, it will be Governor Pence and Donald Trump. To close this thing out, we will do our last rally. Unless Trump runs again in 2020, then this is, unless he runs for re-election in 2020, this will be our last Trump rally tonight at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. It's been a fun ride. You guys have been amazing. It's been great to be a part of this with you. And we're not done yet, so I'll save the speech for later on, but I just want to thank everybody for everything that you do. And we'll get back to you here after the rally. Enjoy it. Our cameras are the only ones that move. Just remember that.
Don't talk about Texas or Amarillo skies. Don't talk about Houston or them Austin City nights. Don't talk about Galveston or sweet, sweet Abilene. Don't talk about Texas. Hey, mister, can I bum a ride? Anywhere you're gone is fine, as long as it's out of town. I could even fill your tank as a way that I can say thanks. I'm feeling kinda down. We can talk about anything that you want to, except one thing, mister, I'm begging you. Don't talk about Texas or Amarillo skies. Don't talk about Houston or them Austin City nights. Don't talk about Galveston or sweet, sweet Abilene. Don't talk about Texas. That's where she said goodbye to me. She fell in love with me on that Corpus Christi beach. It felt so right. And I remember how her green eyes used to shine, and the taste on her sweet lips was like cherry wine. We can talk about any state that we've been through, except the one where I hitched this ride with you. Don't talk about Texas or Amarillo skies. Don't talk about Houston or them Austin City lights. Don't talk about Galveston or sweet, sweet Abilene. Don't talk about Texas. That's where she said goodbye to me.
Okay, we're going to play you an interview, actually, while we're waiting on Mr. Trump. We're going to play an interview with Mike Lindell, who is the inventor of MyPillow. You may have seen the commercials for it. And Campbell Burr interviewed him today from Trump Tower in New York. And it will be on Trump Tower live tonight. But we're going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek at that until Mr. Trump comes out. I'll put it in the window at the top right-hand corner of the screen.
Hi, welcome to Trump Tower Live. I'm Campbell Burr. Today we are here with Mike Lindell, the founder and CEO of MyPillow, who many of you probably recognize. You may even own a MyPillow yourself. Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Great. So Mike, yesterday you were with Mr. Trump in Minneapolis at one of his famous hangar rallies. What was it like to be there?
It was surreal. If you'd have told me I was going to be speaking in front of that many people ever in my life, I would have said, that's not going to happen. But it was one of the most amazing things I've ever been to.
Wow. And I mean, just watching the RSVPs overnight were at 16,000. It was incredible, the amount of support there. So we were so glad that you were able to join us there. And I know Mr. Trump was as well. Mike, you have been a successful entrepreneur and businessman. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you built your company?
Well, I invented MyPillow back in 2004. I worked on it for about a year and a half, and I came out with a patent, and everybody said, you're never going to get a patent on a pillow. And when I finally did, I was turned down everywhere, and it was a lot of perseverance. I did shows for 6 years, home shows and fairs, and I finally did I know people like truth in advertising, and I did a real infomercial with a real audience and just myself and a friend of mine, and we exploded. We went from 5 employees to 540 days.
Wow.
And it was amazing. And right now we have 1,100 employees in Minnesota, and we just keep getting bigger and bigger. We're like the Bad News Bears of business. I never hired outside. We do everything ourselves. We micromanage everything and macromanage. I mean, everything's in-house, and our advertising, everything we do.
I was going to say, one thing that's notable about the company is that all of your pillows are made in Minnesota and all of your materials are American made.
Yes, our patented fill comes from Wisconsin, our fabric from South Carolina, but every part, right down to the cotton, the thread, everything. And you know, with the 1,100 jobs that My Pillow has, I can't imagine how many other jobs, because I'm on so much radio, TV, all their workers and all their hosts, and it just one company, how you can spread, and it just, like, if one company leaves our country, I know a friend of mine he does a fastener business, and a snowmobile company left the U.S. and they had to follow him, and 7 other companies had to also follow him out of the country.
So this is significant because as a successful entrepreneur and businessman, what about Mr. Trump's economic policies are appealing to you?
Absolutely, that's a huge thing. I mean, to keep the jobs here. I mean, if you, like I just said it, if it's a vacuum, as soon as one leaves, if My Pillow left, and I'll use my own company for example. If I left, it wouldn't be just the 1,100 jobs that would lose immediately. It would be all the other companies, the ones that make the fabric, the ones that make the patented fill, all the media I do, that those workers, the stores that these workers shop at, the food where they're at. I mean, it's just his economic policy to keep the jobs here and to keep the companies here, the small business, we're getting taxed. I know he talked about reducing the taxes for the small business. It all starts with us.
Yeah. And Mike, also from a different angle, I know that you came to Trump Tower in New York and met with Mr. Trump one-on-one. Tell us about the Mr. Trump that you met with and how that Mr. Trump, that Donald Trump, was different from the Donald Trump that's portrayed by the media.
It's night and day. When I met Mr. Trump, it was a divine appointment, and I had actually prayed for that meeting last fall because I'm going, and I'm not any politician, but I have so many, with Obamacare coming to, with Minnesota's increases and all my 1,100 employees, I feel an obligation to them, and I wanted to meet him so bad to see what he's really like and to see if where his heart is. And when I walked in there, he was like, "Mike, how you doing?" It was like a meeting of a best friend, and he's so personable, funny, smart. I mean, he was everything. And people told me, Mike, he's a lot like, he runs his business a lot like you run My Pillow. And it was just we talked. I said, he said, Mike, how you doing? And I said, Mr. Trump, I feel this is a divine appointment. He asked me about my cross. He says, you always wear your cross on your commercials. He says, are you a Christian? I said, yes. And I said, this is a divine appointment that I prayed for. And we talked about that. And then we talked about all his due diligence. He wanted to know how I'm making it in this economy. He wanted to know, I told him the stuff I'm doing for the inner cities. He had so much heart for the inner cities.
Yeah, that's one of his.
And it was amazing to me. And then I go on, I read people, and it's like, wow, his heart, he has no other agenda other than to help everyone in this country and help our country get back, get everything back. And we're falling apart. And I was just so relieved. It was a sense of relief going, he's everything that I prayed that he was going to be, and not at all what the media was projecting.
Well, Mike, I think that your opinion of him, especially from a policy perspective, and then also meeting with him one-on-one, definitely says a lot. Have you voted yet, or are you planning on hitting the polls tomorrow?
I've already voted because I'm going to be in New York tomorrow, and so I've already voted. And another thing I want to say, I also talked to Mr. Trump's employees. A lot of them, I did my own due diligence, and every one of them said the most amazing things about him. I couldn't find one. They're going, he goes out of his way. He really has the heart to help and and he's such a common sense entrepreneur. That's what we need. That's what this country needs.
And I can tell you from speaking with a lot of his employees at the Trump org, I found the same thing. It's remarkable. And that's one thing that we're hoping here at the Trump campaign is that tomorrow when Americans go to the polls, they'll vote for vision and real change in this country, and the type of government that is similar, that will be run similarly to how a businessman would run it. Mike, thank you so much for joining us on Trump Tower Live. We appreciate all of your support. And
thank you for having me. This is amazing.
And
I can't tell everyone to get out and vote and vote for change. He is the person, the only person I believe that was picked by God to change this country the way it needs to be changed and to bring it back and to save us from what could, it would be so bad if if Hillary gets in and things don't change and even get worse.
Well, thank you so much. An important message to go out and vote tomorrow. Thank you for watching.
And that was Mike Lindell doing an interview there at Trump Tower Live, which will air tonight. And you get a little sneak peek at it. And coming up next, we have a rally in Manchester, New Hampshire. Our cameras will be at all three remaining events tonight, folks, and we're going to show you the crowd like we always do. Thanks again for tuning in to RSBN and making us your home for all things Trump.
Just another Friday night in LA. We all getting down, feeling right. And there she is alone again in the corner, sipping on a glass of house red wine. As the band begins to play, she's grooving, letting music fill her soul. Nobody knows, nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows, nobody knows what she's running from. You can ask her to dance if you wanna, but you smile and just say no. Nobody knows why she dances alone. There's a million things that it could be, from broken hearts to broken dreams, or getting tired of being let down one more time. To tell you the truth, your guess is as good as mine. Nobody knows, nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows, nobody knows. Is there something at home? Nobody knows, nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows, nobody knows what she's running from. You can ask her to dance if you want, but you smile and just say no. Nobody knows why she dances alone. Nobody knows why she dances alone. Said nobody knows.
You are looking live now at a scene from Grand Rapids, Michigan, the site of the last Donald Trump rally of this election season. Brad has gotten the cameras up and ready to go, just giving you a sneak peek there at what is to come tonight when Governor Pence and Mr. Trump will take the stage. Scheduled to start about 11 o'clock Eastern time, maybe a little bit late. But we are definitely there, and we will be there as well in Manchester, New Hampshire. We're waiting on Martin to be able to re-enter the venue there so that we can test that feed out as well. We expect this place to be absolutely packed tonight.
you tried to work it out. Hell, I wondered if we could. Now I'm feeling lost and so alone. Yeah, I'm bleeding, spinning way out of control. Well, you say you need your time, that you need your space. Oh, baby, I don't understand. All I got to say is, what about me? What about us? What about life, baby? What about love? What about all our hopes, our plans, and all our dreams? Yeah. What about me? Yeah, I'm drinking. All the rumors are true, really sinking. In a broken heart of blue. Well, you told me you still love me, but girl, how could it be? If you still want your freedom, then you ain't wanting me. So what about me? What about us? What about life, baby? What about love? What about all our hopes, our plans, and all our dreams? What about me? You say you're gonna go my way. Goodbye, baby. Don't you
You are looking live at the SNU, I believe, Arena in Manchester, New Hampshire, where Trump and Pence will rally voters right after we're finished in Scranton. RSBN has got you covered, man, tonight. We are wall to wall. The last three rallies are all us, and we've got you covered. This is going to be a memorable night, so I want everybody to share this stuff. Tell everybody to watch on RSBN. We're going to have some record numbers tonight, folks. And again, tomorrow night, you don't want to miss it. Tune in for our election night show hosted by Dennis Michael Lynch, who will be joining us tomorrow night between 8 and 11 o'clock p.m. We will also have cameras in Trump Tower. I mean, not Trump Tower. Sorry, the New York Hilton Midtown, where the victory party will be going on. So you don't want to miss that. Join us tomorrow night for that and for our election coverage right here on the Right Side Broadcasting Network. Contribute today at rsbn.tv.
And they say that Pennsylvania is close. Come on, close. I came in early this morning from Nevada, where we're going to win, by the way, and I made my way up here from Philadelphia and made a number of stops along the way, and the enthusiasm is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. I'm here with two of the best members of Congress who are good friends of mine, Tom Marino and Lou Barletta. You're lucky to have them. Donald Trump has been lucky to have them from the very beginning, supporting him. They're going to be very important people in a Trump administration, and you're going to do very, very well. And I want to tell you, just to let you know that I know this area very well. First of all, right nearby you have a Yankee AAA farm team. Thank you. Number two, my wife was born and raised in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. And she was a classmate of Joey Madden, who just won the World Series. I know for the wrong team, but you got to be proud of him anyway, right? So this election that we have coming up is not an ordinary election. It is not just about America for the next 4 years. This election is about America for the next 20 or 30 or maybe even 40 years. That's why it's so important to all of you. To those of us who are a little bit older, we're not going to be around to see the repercussions of this election. Our children are going to have to suffer if we make a mistake here. They're going to have to suffer with a Supreme Court that has judges on it that don't respect the Constitution. Judges who will not value religious freedom. Judges who will take away your Second Amendment right to bear arms. And that's not a scare tactic. I'm a lawyer. I know exactly how they're going to do it. They're going to say that the right to bear arms is not personal. It belongs to the militia. That's what a minority of the court believes right now. And if they get one more vote, two more votes, three more votes, you will lose the personal right to bear arms. We'll also have a court that will allow a president like Obama or a president like Clinton to do anything they want, to take their regulatory agencies like the EPA and put the coal miners out of business. Remember, she is dedicated to putting coal miners out of business. I haven't even talked about her crimes yet, and you want her. All I'm talking about is how she wants to put the coal miners out of business. It's her deals and her husband's deals like NAFTA that sent the steel mills out of Pennsylvania and down to Mexico and other. Do you have any idea how many jobs the Clintons have cost the state of Pennsylvania? What the heck did you ever vote for them in the first place for? Like my state, you had to be a little crazy. The Clintons killed Pennsylvania on jobs. Hundreds of thousands of jobs gone due to NAFTA. Hundreds of thousands due to China being in the World Trade Organization. And now she wants to do this Trans-Pacific Partnership. There'll be no jobs left in Pennsylvania at all. Does she think the people of Pennsylvania are so stupid that they're going to vote for people who take jobs away from them and want to give them to the rest of the world? You see, she has a view of government different than Donald Trump. She thinks, like Barack Obama, oh, does she think we're deplorable? She thinks you and I are deplorable. She thinks we're irredeemable. And up until Sunday, she thought the FBI were just a bunch of white men, old white men, who hated her and loved Trump. Now she likes the FBI again. I don't know, maybe by tomorrow she won't like them. And when I get finished with this speech, she's not going to like them very much, but because the criminal cases against Hillary ain't over, baby. They're not over. So, on the one hand, you got a president like her who believes in globalism. We're just another country. We go around apologizing. We have a small military. And we're not much better than Sweden or Germany or Greece or whatever. On the other hand, we have Donald Trump, who believes that America is the greatest gift that God so far has given to humanity. Aside from his son, Jesus Christ. He believes this is a country that stands for freedom and dignity and tolerance and individuality and great achievement. And he wants us to once again believe in ourselves as a country where if you get on the ladder of success, you can go right to the very top. Any one of you can go right to the very top. But you don't go there by being on welfare. You don't go there by having food stamps. You know how you go there. And that's our outreach to the African American and the Hispanics and other people. Not just African Americans, there are a lot of successful ones. Not just Hispanics, there are a lot of successful ones. But in the inner cities, a lot of the people that are suffering are Hispanic and African American. And we reach out to them and we tell them, you've been under Democratic rule for 50 years and all they've been doing is putting you on welfare, keeping you in dependency, and having you to live with a tremendous amount of crime. We can change it for you. Give us the chance. And as Donald Trump likes to say, what do you got to lose? Give us a chance. You've been in Baltimore, in Chicago, in Philadelphia. Come on, the unemployment rate is ridiculous. In Chicago, a person gets shot once every 2 hours. Once every 2 hours. That's worse than Afghanistan. Give us a chance. Give us the chance to restore safety and law and order by respecting the police. And let's agree. Let's agree that black lives matter, but so do white lives. And so do lives of every other color, shade, every gender, every nationality, every religion, every sexual orientation. God commands us that lives matter. All lives matter. They're the ones who want to separate us. Whatever happened to the Barack Obama of I don't know how long ago when he first appeared with his speech? There are no white Americans. There are no black Americans. There are just Americans. Somewhere, somehow, along the way, he lost it. And he divided us more than any American president, and I don't remember in how long. But that wasn't bad when he started way back in 2004 with there's no black America, no white America. just in America. I judge people, like Martin Luther King said, by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. We need an American president who can stand up to radical Islamic terrorism. Not someone who can't say the word. We need an American president that can build our army up to 550,000 troops rather than let it go down to 420,000. That can build our Navy up to 350 ships, that can build our Air Force up into 1,200 fighters that are modern fighters, not fighter planes where we have to go get spare parts from museums. We need to build up our Marines to 36 battalions, and we need to modernize our conventional forces, and we need to modernize our nuclear forces. Here's why. Not so we can go to war, so that we can accept the wisdom of George Washington and Ronald Reagan rather than I'm going to try to find a nice word to say that, not so wisdom of Barack Obama. You see, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama believe in peace through weakness. They do. I'll tell you why. Their first act in office was to reset the relationship with Russia, and when they did, they gave up the defense of the Czech Republic and Poland, which is something that Ronald Reagan fought for and that no president would ever give up because they knew the impact that it had on Russia. Their ahistorical approach, or put more in the language Donald would use, their ignorance and stupidity, led to their giving up the nuclear defense of Poland and the Czech Republic, resetting the relationship in Russia, and getting nothing in return. That's why the negotiation was stupid. That's like you sell me your house for nothing. Now, when you sell your house for nothing to Putin, the next thing he figures is, maybe I can buy your car for nothing. And then if you have another house, maybe I can buy your other house for nothing. And maybe I can just happen to push you all over the world, which is what he's done. He took a look at them and he said, let me take a good look. Suckers. Suckers. Then Obama, this is what I mean by peace through weakness. Then Obama set the red line down. If you pass the red line and you use chemical weapons in Syria, there are going to be serious consequences for you, Assad. Well, Assad crossed the red line, and here's what Obama did. What do you think Putin thought of that? What do you think Putin thought of that when he saw that? He said, I can go into Crimea, I can take the Ukraine, I can push this guy anywhere. Boy, oh boy. You cross the red line, consequences, the guy crossed the red line and I can't, I'll go to the UN, I'll go to the United Kingdom, I'll go to Congress. That's peace through weakness. Hillary made sure, or wasn't able to make sure, that we had our troops left behind in Iraq. Hillary gave us ISIS. It would never have happened. It would never have formed. It would never have developed if we had insisted that we were going to keep our troops in Iraq. You know what they say? What Obama and Hillary say? They say, we couldn't negotiate it with Maliki. What do you mean negotiate it with Maliki? He's just going to do it because we're going to tell him to do it. Who the hell put him there? Who the hell lost couple of thousand lives to save his country. What did he owe to us? Well, there's a saying in The Godfather. There's either going to be your name on that contract or something else. Well, I wouldn't have gone that far. There either would have been his name on that contract or we would have had a new head of Iraq. He's not telling me, and he's not telling Donald Trump, you're taking your troops out of Iraq. To hell with him. If our troops had stayed there, ISIS wouldn't even have been a JV. It had been like a midget squad, like they have in football, you know, the little 8-year-olds and 7-year-olds. Well, it has developed now into a much bigger force than Al-Qaeda. We are in more danger from Islamic erratic terrorism than we've ever been before. We have ISIS in 32 countries. We have over 1,000 investigations of them in the United States. And we are in more danger of Islamic terrorist attack than we were before September 11. Witness the fact that we've had more Islamic terrorist attacks in the United States and Europe in the last 10 months than at any time since September 11. And we don't know where they're going to hit next. And we may defeat them in Iraq, but they're in 32 other countries by now. And this is because of Hillary Clinton's failure to have our troops there, Barack Obama's failure to have our troops there, peace through weakness. Now, I'm going to tell you what peace through strength is. Peace through strength is to be backed up with the kind of army that Ronald Reagan had. Not a depleted army. With the kind of Navy that allows us to patrol 2 oceans and push China back in the South China Sea. That's 350 ships. With a modern arsenal of fighters and bombers, and with modern conventional and nuclear weapons, and with 36 battalions instead of 28 in the Marines. When you have that standing behind you, people don't mess with you. George Washington said the greatest assurance of peace is, George Washington said, the greatest assurance of peace is military strength. And Ronald Reagan proved that you can win the Cold War without firing a shot by having the most powerful, the most overwhelming military in the history of the world. And the Soviet Union collapsed, the Berlin Wall fell down, and Eastern Europe went free. That is peace through strength. Donald Trump will bring us that. This is not a man who steps down. This isn't a man who backs down. This is a man who wins for America. And his goal is to make America not just another country, but make America number 1 in education, number 1 in health care. Goodbye, Obamacare. Bye-bye. Biggest fraud in the last 50 years is Obamacare. Goodbye, repealed and replaced. Right away. Taxes down. I'll come back here next year at this time, and if Donald Trump is the president, you'll have 20 or 30% more in your pocket from your paycheck than you have today. And you know what you're going to do for me? You're going to spend it. And that's how we grow an economy. That's how John Kennedy grew the economy. That's how Ronald Reagan grew the economy. That's how I grew the economy in New York City, by giving money back to people. And now let's talk about the last and the maybe most important issue, aside from the long-term impact of this election. We have never had a person running for president of the United States that is so thoroughly corrupt and so criminal as Hillary Rodham Clinton. Now, she left. No. That's up to the prosecutors and the courts and everyone else. What we want to do is deliver her a special kind of justice tomorrow. It's called the justice of the American people. Let's keep this crook out of the White House. We don't need all the Clinton baggage. The Clintons have given us a scandal a decade. Whitewater, selling the Lincoln bedroom, the Mark Rich pardon, the pardon for the FALN terrorists, selling out the State Department, hundreds of millions of dollars, and we're selling 20% of our uranium to Russia because Bill Clinton's friends made hundreds of millions of dollars on that deal, and he made $3 million on that deal. The UBS didn't have to give up the names of Americans who were evading taxes because Hillary Clinton intervened for them, and the Clintons got over $3 million in cash for that and a $30 million loan. That's called bribery where I come from. The Ericsson Corporation should have been banned from doing business in Iran, and they were the only company that wasn't because they donated millions to the Clinton Foundation and speaking fees to Bill Clinton. That is corruption. That's bribery. That's dirty. That's stinking. That's rotten. And how about this? They are big. They used to be little thieves in Arkansas. And then in the White House, they were middle-level thieves. And now they're multi-million-dollar international thieves. You put them in the Oval Office, just like they sold the Lincoln bedroom, they'll sell the Oval Office. But I'm going to tell you, once a thief, always a thief. We find out yesterday that the Clinton Foundation paid for Chelsea Clinton's wedding. How long did you save up to pay for your son or daughter's wedding or your wedding? How much money did it cost you to pay for that wedding? Did some charitable foundation pay for it, or did it come out of your hard-earned money? Well, these multimillionaires took money from this foundation that's supposed to do good work for poor people. And boy, I'd like to explain that to you, because that good work is all done through the people who donate money to the Clinton Foundation, and they make a fortune off poor people, including one of Hillary's brothers. Well, how many of you had a charitable foundation pay for your daughter's wedding? None of you. You paid for the wedding. But the Clintons are special. They can steal money from the Clinton Foundation and pay for the wedding and pay for her life. And they can have a maid who is texting top secret information, and they can still get the director of the FBI to say they shouldn't be prosecuted. And that was a new revelation that he didn't know about when he made his original decision back in July. A maid who was routinely texting top secret information. Everything I know, if it were you or me, or that poor young sailor who took 3 pictures on a submarine, we'd be in jail. Well, they used to be, everybody was not above the law. No one was above the law. Now the Clintons are above the law. You know who's going to put them where they belong? You. You're going to do it tomorrow. You're going to do it with your vote. You're going to do it with getting people out to vote. And this enthusiasm. You see this enthusiasm here? You hear it? You hear it? Make it into votes. I want to see you go get people to vote. Don't just yell. Don't just scream. But go get your neighbor to vote. Go get your best friend to vote. Take your grandmother out of the nursing home and get her to vote. Get everybody to vote. We need Donald Trump as President of the United States to change the direction of this country and to put us on the course of what we should be. A country that wins, a country that's number one, and a country that is great again. Thank you very much.
Folks, please stand. Please restart it. Oh my God. Come on, man. What happened? Why did it restart? You don't. What's happening? What's it doing?
We are going to win the great state of Pennsylvania, and we are going to take back the White House.
No.
This election will decide
Son of a
whether
bitch.
we're ruled by a corrupt political class or whether we are ruled by yourselves, the people. It is time to reject a failed political elite that has bled this country dry. To all the people of Pennsylvania, I say, we are going to put the miners and the factory workers and the steel workers back to work. We're bringing our companies back. The trade policies of Bill and Hillary Clinton have destroyed manufacturing in your state and throughout the country. I want to take this moment to share a message with all of the Democratic voters in our country who are thirsting for change like everybody else. Everybody is thirsting. Great victories are this time. And I went to school in Pennsylvania, and my kids went to school in Pennsylvania. So I guess we assume it's a good place to learn. Look, have you been seeing the polls, by the way? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. See the dishonest people back there, the media, the totally dishonest people. They are so dishonest. They are so dishonest, folks. You can't even read articles in certain papers anymore. New York Times is a total lie. You can't, it is so false, nothing to do with me. I'm just telling you, such lies, such fabrication, such made-up stories. Now, the Times is going out of business pretty soon. That's the good news. But such made-up stories, such vicious made-up stories. But I'll tell you, they're going a little crazy because we're leading in Ohio. We're leading in Iowa. We're leading in New Hampshire, where I'm going to be in a little while. We're doing fantastically well in North Carolina. I think we're leading. We, I believe, are leading in Florida. And now Hillary just announced she's going to additional stops. She's going to Michigan, traditionally not really a Republican state. But, you know, I've been talking, I was Man of the Year in Michigan a number of years ago. And I started telling and talking about your car business is being stolen from you. I've been saying it for years and years and years. And you know what? Michigan now agrees. We're leading in Michigan. We're leading. And when I heard that crooked Hillary is going there tonight, she had to. Nobody thought in terms of Michigan. When I heard, I figured, you know what? I have nothing to do tonight, so I'll go there tonight and give it the last word, okay? So after this, I'm going to New Hampshire. And then I'm going to Michigan. Oh, we're going to have a great victory tomorrow, folks. We're going to have a great victory. They have no idea. The dishonest media has no idea. Actually, they do have an idea. They're saying, what is going on? And look at these people and look at this enthusiasm. There's nothing like it. By the way, and just I have to say, this is considered, in the history of this country, this is actually, and you've been hearing it, this is considered the greatest movement. Nobody's ever seen anything like this, folks. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And you know, I was thinking today, it's a movement, if you really think about it, it's a movement of common sense. It's a movement of competence. It's not a movement where we give $150 billion to Iran, where we give them $400 million in cash, but that turns out to be $1.7 billion in cash to Iran for hostages, which our president lied about. And just one other thing. Why is he campaigning all the time? He ought to be working on jobs, on getting rid of ISIS, on our borders, on our health care, which is failing so badly. Boy, oh boy. And she can't get anybody to go to her rallies, so she gets Jay-Z. He uses the worst language I have ever heard. And by the time he's finished, what's happened? What happens? He and Beyonce, right? They're finished. By that time, most of the people have left. So she thinks she's getting people. By the time she speaks, they're all gone anyway. She should just take a small room and talk. Talk. Just take a small room and talk. It's just been announced that the residents of Pennsylvania are going to experience a massive double-digit premium hike. So high that I won't tell you what it is. It's very high. All 67 counties in Pennsylvania, most of which I won in the primaries, right? Almost all. Almost every one of them are losing Obamacare insurers next year. That puts you in a bad position. But the truth is, not going to matter because we are going to repeal it and replace it. Not going to matter. Don't worry about it. So you can leave here happy. Premiums are surging. Companies are leaving. Insurers are fleeing. Doctors are quitting. And deductibles are going through the roof. Yet crooked Hillary Clinton wants to double down on Obamacare, making it even more expensive than it is right now. I'm asking for your vote so we can repeal and replace Obamacare and save health care for every family in Pennsylvania. And by the way, for every family in this country. Real change also means restoring honesty to our government. Hillary Clinton is the most corrupt person ever to seek the office of the presidency of the United States. She's threatened national security. She sold her office to the highest bidder. And then to cover her tracks, she deleted 33,000 emails after receiving a congressional subpoena. She should not be allowed to run for president. She's being protected by a rigged system. And part of the rigged system is the dishonest media. Believe me, they're rigging the system. True. It's true. Don't worry, they never show the crowds, folks. They never. They show my face. Boom, boom, never show the crowd. It took over a year for the FBI to review 50,000 emails. And then just 8 days, they reviewed 650,000 emails. So now it's up to the American people to deliver justice at the ballot box tomorrow. You got to get out and vote. Let's swamp them. Pennsylvania, let's swamp them. You got to get out. Our country has never, ever done anything like they're doing right now when it comes to justice. James Cartwright, 4-star general, 2 weeks ago, admitted to one mistake. And he did it on the basis of national security, he said. And I can understand that. He may go to jail for up to 5 years. General Petraeus' life has been destroyed for doing 1/100th of what Hillary Clinton did. So sad. So sad. It's honestly a disgrace. And now she's allowed to run for president, and General Cartwright will end up being in jail. My contract with the American voter begins with a plan to end government corruption and take back our country from the special interests and the donors. I want the entire corrupt Washington establishment to hear the words from all of us. When we win tomorrow, we are going to Washington, D.C. to drain the swamp. They say we're tied in Pennsylvania. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we're going to blow them out tomorrow in a lot of different ways. Blow them out. No way. This is not the sound of a second place finisher, that I can tell. No, they have us tied. Don't forget, we were 12 points down 3 weeks ago. And then after the debates, all of a sudden, we started going up. We started going up, and it was great. And now they have us even, but I actually think we're much better than that in Pennsylvania. I do, and so do you. Get out there and vote. At the core of my contract is my plan to bring back our jobs. Pennsylvania has lost almost 40% of its manufacturing jobs since NAFTA. A deal signed by Bill Clinton and supported by his lovely wife, Hillary Clinton. Lovely lady. America has lost 70,000 factories since China entered the World Trade Organization. Another Bill and Hillary-backed disaster. We are living through the greatest jobs theft in the history of the world. A Trump administration will stop the jobs from leaving America, and we will stop the jobs, finally, from leaving Pennsylvania. And very simply, folks, very simply, and you haven't heard this, very simply, if a company wants to fire their workers, leave Pennsylvania, and move to another country like Mexico, and then ship their products back into the United States, we will make them pay a 35% tax on those products. And you know what's going to happen? They're not going to leave. And if they do, that's okay. The country will make a lot of money. But they're not going to leave. They're not going to leave. Now, your politicians could have thought of that. Some of them can't, for they have other problems. We will renegotiate NAFTA, one of the worst deals, the single worst trade deal ever made in the history of this world. It's true. We'll stand up to China, and stop the job-killing Trans-Pacific Partnership, which Hillary Clinton wants. You know, she called it the gold standard, and then she lied during the debate. And she said, I never said that. I said, yes, you did. You called it the gold standard. Turned out she was lying. Turned out. Of course, you could look at it differently. It is the gold standard for the other side, not for the United States. For the other side, it's good. How about this? How about this? How about getting the questions for the debate? They fed her illegally. They fed her the questions for the debate. Donna Brazile. They fed her the questions for the debate. And she never came and... They fed her the questions to the debate, and she didn't say, I can't do this, I'm sorry, it's so unethical. Can you imagine if I was given the questions to the debate? What would have happened? The biggest stories all over the world. You don't even read this. You read a little bit about Donna Brazile, but you don't read this. They gave her the questions to debates, numerous debates against Bernie Sanders. And Bernie Sanders... he is really upset. I would bet you he would wish that he didn't give her that little nod because he made a deal with the devil. You know it. He ruined the legacy. He really had a very important legacy going, folks. He ruined his legacy when he did that. And he's got to be very embarrassed. He's got to be very, very embarrassed. As part of our plan to bring back jobs, we are going to lower taxes on American business from 35% to 15%. And we will massively cut taxes for the middle class, the forgotten people, the forgotten men and women of this country who built our country. We will massively lower taxes. It's in our plan. And I'll tell you, Hillary, and you see her plan, she is going to raise taxes substantially, folks. We're the highest tax nation in the world. She's going to raise taxes. Figure that one out. We will lift the restrictions on American energy, including shale, oil, natural gas, and clean coal. Hillary has openly stated she wants to shut down the mines and ban shale production. You folks can't be too happy about that, I guess. We are going to unleash an energy revolution right here in Pennsylvania. We will cancel billions of dollars in global warming payments to the United Nations. Billions and billions and billions. And use that money to rebuild the infrastructure of the United States. And we will put our miners back to work, and we will put our steel workers back to work. They're going back to work. We will rebuild our inner cities. The African American community, the Hispanic community, living in the inner city, have been treated very unfairly. Crime that is so bad, and I say it, you can't sometimes walk to a store, you get shot. Horrible education and no jobs. No jobs. For 100 years, Democrats have ruled the inner cities. Unabated, unbroken. We are going to fix our inner cities. We're going to bring back jobs. We're going to bring back safety. We're going to bring education to the inner cities. And I say, because there's such unbelievable potential in terms of people within our inner cities. And I say, honestly, folks, what do you have to lose? It's so bad now. What do you have to lose? I will fix it. We are going to spend and we are going to bring those jobs back. We are going to fix our inner cities. What do you have to lose to the African American community and to the Hispanic community? And by the way, take a look at what's happening in Florida and other places. The African American community likes Donald Trump, and they're not liking voting for Hillary Clinton very much. They're not showing up. They don't want to vote for her. The Hispanic community, the numbers are becoming great. You know, the Cubans, they gave me an award, Bay of Pigs Award, last week. The entire Cuban community of Miami, Bay of Pigs Association. No, but a lot of trends are very disturbing to the media. I'll tell you, you look at what's going on. And my numbers with the African American community are, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. But we're going to fix the inner cities. We will become a rich nation again. But to be a rich nation, we must also be a safe nation. Hillary Clinton wants a 550% increase in Syrian refugees flowing into our country. Her plan will import generations of terrorism, extremism, and radicalism into your schools and throughout your communities. When I'm elected president, we will suspend the Syrian refugee program, and we will keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country. Have no choice. We have no choice. A Trump administration will also secure and defend the borders of the United States. And yes, we will build a great wall. Are you ready? And who is going to pay for that wall? 100% correct. They will. They have unbelievable how they've done with our country. I was with the president of Mexico 3 months ago. Terrific. It was a terrific meeting. But, you know, when you have highways going into a country, it's got to be like a two-way highway. Right now, they get all the jobs. They get all the factories and plants. They get all the income. They get all the money, the taxes. We get unemployment and we get drugs. We get nothing. We get nothing. That'll all change, folks. It'll change very, very fast. And it'll be a two-lane highway, maybe one lane for a little while, but one way coming here, but just for a little while. We have to catch up. This is a lot of years. A lot of years we've been abused by people that don't know what they're doing. A lot of years we've been abused by stupid politicians, very stupid politicians. Hillary Clinton supports totally open borders. There goes your country. And her plan gives you Social Security and Medicare benefits. You know, she wants to give them to illegal immigrants. We're going to take care of our veterans, folks. We're going to take care of our veterans. Hillary also strongly supports sanctuary cities like in San Francisco, where Kate Steinle was murdered by an illegal immigrant, deported at least 5 times. Couldn't keep them out. We're going to keep them out. They come back 5 years. They come back again 10 years. Believe me, nobody's coming back. Okay? We will cancel all federal funding to sanctuary cities. We will stop illegal immigration, deport all criminal aliens, and dismantle every last criminal gang and cartel threatening our citizens. Have to do it. Have to do it. Have to do it. We will also repeal the Obama-Clinton defense sequester and rebuild our badly depleted military. This will be a national effort, and it means a new future for Philadelphia's Navy shipyard, right? I know it well. I went to school in Philadelphia. I know it well. It's going to be activated again, really activated. I'm honored to have the endorsement of more than 200 top admirals and generals and 22 Medal of Honor recipients, and the list is growing. The list is growing rapidly. And they told me on Mosul, the other night I was at Fort Bragg, right near Fort Bragg. We had 25,000, 27,000 people in a field. It was unbelievable. And some of the generals and admirals came up to me. We had a lot of them there. They said, Mr. Trump, you're so right on Mosul. You're so right. You know, I've been saying the element of surprise. 4 months ago, we say, our leaders, we are going to attack Mosul in 4 months. A month later, we say, we are going to attack Mosul in 3 months. We are going in because we're going to get the leaders of ISIS who are in Mosul. Well, you have to understand, they've already left when you said the 4 months, right? They're gone. Then 2 months, then 1 month, then 1 week, a few weeks ago. We will be going into Mosul in 1 week. Oh, these people are so stupid. The element of surprise. The great General Douglas MacArthur, right? Spinning in his grave. The great General George Patton. Can you imagine what they must be? You know, let's assume they could actually see what's happening. Maybe they are. Can you imagine what they must be thinking? These were great warriors, great generals. As we tell the enemy exactly what we're going to do, when we're going to be there, where we're going to enter. Oh boy, folks, we're going to have such a different country. You're going to be so proud of your country again. Going to be so proud. Wouldn't it be nice if nothing were said by our politicians and by Obama? Wouldn't it be nice if they did the job and then had a news conference a week later and said, total victory? They're having a very hard time right now. The leaders and the people have gone, and the other fighters are entrenched, and it's much more difficult than they thought because of that. But the general said, you're so right on that, Mr. Trump. You're so right. Hillary and our failed establishment have dragged us into foreign wars that have made us less safe and never end. They never end. Shipped our jobs and wealth all over the world and left our borders wide open at home. That will all change when we win the presidential election. Because from now on, it's going to be America first. America first. Is everybody going to vote tomorrow? Get your family, get your friends. No matter what you do, you've got to get out and vote. The whole world is laughing at us. They're laughing at this, at what's going on in our country. When you look at trade, we don't win. Trade with the world. Trade. We're $800 almost billion in the hole with a trade deficit with the world. With China, almost $500 billion trade deficit. Who negotiates these deals? You know who negotiates them? Political hacks. Political hacks. Dealing against the toughest, smartest people that have been trained to do, they've been trained to do nothing but this. They laugh at the stupidity of our country. But you know what? We have the greatest negotiators in the world. We have the greatest business people in the world. We're going to use these great business people. Carl Icahn endorsed me, so many others. We're going to use our great leaders, our great business people. It's time. It's time. Think of it. almost $800 billion. All this work, all this everything, and we have a deficit of almost $800 billion. To all Americans, I say it's time for change. It's time for leadership. In summing up, just think about what we can accomplish in the first 100 days of a Trump administration. We are going to have the biggest tax cut since Ronald Reagan. Hillary's going to raise your taxes. She's going to raise your taxes. We are going to protect your Social Security and Medicare. And you know what Hillary's going to do. You know what Hillary's going to do, right? Not good what she's going to do with your Social Security. All right, let's go. We will eliminate every unnecessary job-killing regulation, a disaster. Cancel every illegal Obama executive order. Protect your religious liberty. We will rebuild our badly depleted, and you know what's going on with the military. You see it all the time. We will rebuild our badly depleted military, and we are going to finally take care of our great veterans. Provide school choice and put an end to Common Core. We're bringing education local. We will support the men and women. These are great people of law enforcement. We'll support them. And we will save our Second Amendment, which is under siege. Hillary Clinton is going to do big, bad numbers on your Second Amendment vote. And appoint justices to the United States Supreme Court who will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. I can't believe I'm saying this. It started on June 16th, last year, June 16th. It's a long time. It's a long time. Thank you. I love you too, darling. Thank you. I can't believe I'm saying this. You have one day until the election, and now it's less than that. It's been a long journey. Remember, I entered, and we had 17 governors and senators, and the old story. And one by one, right, all together, one by one. And we ended up getting, and by the way, some incredible endorsements. Ben Carson, Mike Huckabee, so many others. Almost all of them, not quite, but almost all of them. They signed the pledge and they honored the pledge. But almost all of them, and it's great. But now we have one flawed candidate to beat. One person who will not be able to do the job for you folks, will not be able to do the job. You have one day to make every dream you've ever dreamed for your country and your family come true. You have one magnificent chance to beat this corrupt system and to deliver justice for every forgotten man, every forgotten woman, and every forgotten child in this nation. It will never happen again. It will never happen again, folks. In 4 years, not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's never going to happen again. Do not let this opportunity slip away. We are fighting for every citizen who believes that government should serve the people, not the donors and not the special interests. And we are fighting to bring us all together as Americans. We're a divided nation. We're a very badly divided nation. We're going to be brought together. Just imagine what our country could accomplish if we started working together as one people under one God, saluting one American flag. Wouldn't it be nice? I'm asking you to dream big, because with your vote, we are just one day away from the change you've been waiting for your entire life. You got to go out and vote. Get everybody to vote. It will be the greatest vote you ever cast in your lifetime, because together we will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America safe again. And yes, we will make America great again. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. God bless you. Get out and vote. Thank you, Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Two more to go before the rallies are all over with, and the general is tomorrow. And tomorrow night at this time, we'll just start seeing the first results roll in. It's Joe Seals back here at the RSBN studio headquarters in Auburn, Alabama. We had an interesting thing happen earlier, right as we were set to start rolling. As soon as Trump came on the stage, you may have noticed that the feed that we had, which had been good for 2 hours before, suddenly shut off, and there was a cameraman or a reporter who we misidentified first as NBC. We don't know who he's from, but I've got video of him now, who bumped our camera twice and basically lost the feed. But we have it back. We got it back, and I appreciate everybody hanging in there with us during that time. And reminder, we have 2 other cameras tonight at the last 2 rallies. We have a camera next that we're going to in Manchester, New Hampshire, and then 11 o'clock Eastern time in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It will be Mike Pence and Donald Trump at those rallies, and we just want to thank everybody. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for a special Election Day coverage here on RSBN. Tomorrow night, we have special Election Day coverage. We will be providing you live coverage tomorrow night with Dennis Michael Lynch, who will be a guest on RSBN tomorrow night with some an election show. We're going to go 5 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, and then 8 till 11 Eastern time tomorrow night. We will also be at the New York Hilton Midtown tomorrow night for the Donald Trump Victory Party. So make sure you tune into that. We got you covered right here on RSBN. We're going to go live to our next feed in Manchester, New Hampshire very shortly. So make sure that you tune in. Our guys will be our moderators will be posting a link in the chat room, so you can head on over there now. And we'll start the feed probably in about 15-20 minutes. Thank you, everybody, for all the support. You guys are great. Please help us at rsbn.tv/donate, and we'll see you back here very shortly.